Okay, hey everyone. I just got out of watching Ted, and this is how I'm going to do the review for it this time, because basically writing those things could be a bit of a pain in the ass when you're right after the movie. And yeah, it takes like a couple of hours or an hour or two, and it always feels like it takes 5 minutes, and then I realize, oh yeah, I'm supposed to sleep at some point. Oh, but I want to put this up, and I got to edit it, and bleh. Anyway, so yeah, this is your TED review. Fuck writing. Who needs it? Okay, me. But for this part, from now on, I'm going to try to do reviews on video, because they're fast. Anyway, so my thoughts on TED. Fucking hilarious. Comes immediately to mind. Shit. I fucking love this movie. It was great. Had a lot more heart to it than I was expecting. I'm not gonna lie there. You don't expect to get heart. This had heart. If it had any more heart, it would be named Mati and have a ring. You know, for those who don't know, somehow you missed any trailers, commercials, what have you for it, this is the story about a little boy back in 1985 who wishes really hard one Christmas that his teddy bear was, you know, he could talk, and so he'd have a best friend. But as anybody who's grown up in the 90s knows, we had a metric fuckload of movies about kids doing that shit, so this movie skips ahead very quickly to when the dude is now 35, he's grown up, the teddy bear's sort of grown up, as grown up as he can be. Basically, best way to think of it is, we all have that friend. The person who never stopped drinking too much, never stopped smoking pot on like a regular basis, you know, to the point where it's practically like an extra meal a day. That friend that never grew up, that is Ted. And we also know that this is the person who, dependent on what kind of person you are, he can either drag you down, or he could be the guy who, if he's not dragging you down, he'll be the guy who, what's the best way to put this, he's the guy who tends to bring you back to that mentality yourself, you know, that frat boy mentality. Let me adjust this slightly here. There, much better. I need a haircut. So, yeah, this is one of those things. It's going to be frustrating to talk about in a way, because all the best parts are things I can't tell you. Not necessarily because they're plot spoilers, but because, you know, this is Seth MacFarlane, there's lots of good humor, but it really requires context, and if I tell you what any of the great best jokes are, me telling it would probably still be funny, but it wouldn't be as funny, and it wouldn't have that sense of surprise that you kind of need the environment of this movie for, because this is yeah, dude has got some pull, I will tell you that. There are people who pop into this movie you do not see coming. I'm not even sure if they're on IMDb. I kind of hope IMDb is nice enough not to mention certain names. One person in particular that you will not see coming, and just what his role in this movie is absolutely hilarious. Okay, let's just say it makes up for a certain other movie from last year, and that's as close to a hint on who that guy is you're gonna get. Let's see, as for the movie itself, well, this is directed and written by, well, co-written, but directed by Seth MacFarlane, and, you other directors out there, you live-action directors, this is sad. The guy who made Family Guy can school most of the live-action directors out there. This guy knows how to do a shot. I mean, this isn't just like a lot of comedy directors where it's just like, I'm just going to put the camera here and let funny things happen. He put a lot of thought into the editing, into, well, where the camera is, when it's going to move, how long a shot's going to be, that kind of a thing. Yeah. We're going to get technical in this bitch. No, but I mean, seriously, this is a far superior movie visually than most of the films that have been coming out lately. It doesn't feel like he's aping any kind of style. Or if he does, that's the joke. And no, he's not going to, he doesn't ape things like, you know, hey, we're going to do another 300 ripoff. No, the way he's aping things is like there's a scene where, oh god, this is one of those things you can't really talk about without potentially ruining it. Let's just say there is a scene that is purposely done to be about as 80s as it possibly can be, and that's that. That's all I'm going to give you on that. I'm sorry, any jokes or funniness you get from this is going to have to come from me. Ooh. God, you're fucked in that area, aren't you? Well, that's okay. This is a review, not your fucking comedy show. But, hey, well, look on the bright side. You get to see my pretty face. My pretty face. No, but seriously. Seth MacFarlane, though, you know, if you've seen the commercial of the trailers, you know, he's also doing the voice of the bear, which if you're going to be a first-time live-action director and you're going to be in your own movie, it's probably a good way to do it, is just do a voice for something animatronic, or CGI in this case. Not a bad way to go in that respect. And he is excellent. Mark Wahlberg is good. He's definitely got that perfect mix of I'm doing comedy, but I'm playing a part, I'm playing a character, I'm playing a role. He never stops doing that, and somehow that just sort of adds to the comedy of it. And for all those guys with small dicks who have girlfriends that always woo over Mark Wahlberg because you always have your fucking self-esteem issues, well, guess what? You get to see a teddy bear spank his ass, both literally and figuratively. Actually, that was a really good fight scene. Done in very much of a Jason Bourne kind of a style, strangely enough. Mila Kunis is in there. She was this close to just being the girlfriend. But I kind of enjoy the fact that she kind of... what she lacks as a character, she makes up for as a symbol. She's what a guy is supposed to be aspiring to, you know, in the sense she's that voice that says, grow up, you're not this way anymore, you have responsibilities now, you need to look up to you need to get your rear in gear, basically. And in that terms, as a symbol of not necessarily a character, I liked her. She didn't really have much to work with, but she knew how to use what she had. There are lots of other actors here and there, but honestly, I don't want to mention them just because it's just a joy to see them, and if I tell you who they are, that some of that joy will be taken away. Pretty much the only person that comes to mind where it wouldn't be taken away is Patrick Warburton, but he's got maybe 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes of screen time, sadly. That's sad. But hey, you get the Patrick Warburton voice, if you need any more than that from him. So, in a nutshell, yeah, movie's fucking hilarious, got a lot of heart, good story, good direction, and I do, in fact, recommend it. I'll also note that this had some weird trailers before it, one action movie, one comedy, one action comedy, and then another action movie were the trailers I saw. I know it seems weird to talk about trailers at tail end of this review, but, you know, I am doing this primarily for the Facebook group Unsupervised Film School, and you know, I like to keep them abreast of film when I can. And in this case, you know, it's Dredd, which looks awesome. Like Judge Dredd's finally being done right. You got, what else? Something called Hit and Run, which is the action comedy, and looks great. Okay? I mean, Jesus. That's a movie where a guy finds out that someone he knew got anally raped in prison, and his response is to immediately start asking, was it a black guy? What was it, a Mexican guy? He's just, whew. But yeah, there's that movie coming out, and I'm interested in it. The Campaign, which is actually the comedy I'm looking forward to the most this year, where Will Ferrell and Zach Galifianakis are basically just two guys going against each other in a political a political race, and Will Ferrell punches a baby. If I need to tell you any more than that about the movie, you shouldn't be coming to me for advice on film in the first place. You probably really should be watching any movies that have come out in the last 10 to 20 years either. God, let's see, I think it was comedy. God, I can't remember what that fourth movie was off the top of my head. Oh, yeah, The Bourne Legacy was the last one, which, you know, I thought was kind of weird to put in a comedy that does have action scenes, but not in a way you could call it an action movie. But, you know, The Bourne Legacy looks good. It's got Jeremy Renner instead of Matt Damon, so we'll see how that goes. So yeah, that's all I got to say. This is good. Hopefully you enjoy this. You don't really have much of a choice if you plan to have me review things, because this is more or less how I plan to do things from now on, for the sake of, once again, simplicity and speed. And yeah, I'll be doing this for some of the other movies whose reviews I've been meaning to put up for a while now. Look out for those. And yeah, well, till next time.